Good afternoon, everybody. Hello and hi and welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, hello, hi, and welcome to the channel. If you're a returning Titan, welcome on back. So something's going on with StreamYard. It says that I have 0 people in here, but I see that we have people in here. Also, whenever I go to get on my iPad to see the chat, like usually it'll show the video, it's just showing the chat. So at least I can see the chat from my iPad, but if you're here, thank you for being here. If you could show me that you're here by just thumbs up the video, give it a thumbs up, that'll let me know how many people are here. I know that we might not have a huge turnout. It's a middle of the day live, but some documents were out and I wanted to read them to you guys. So thank you again for being here. Thank you for liking the videos. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. We hit 9,000 subscribers, guys. I mean, how in the world? So quickly. We are at 9,031 right now. Like, thank you. I'm humbled. I woke up this morning and saw that, and it was an amazing feeling because we're almost to that 10,000 mark. So now we're in the 9,000 limbo mark. Oh, and my video just came up on my iPad. So look at that. So can you guys see me and everything? Everything's good on your end? Because everything looks like it's good on my end now. Okay, cool. Cool. I like that. But before we get started, make sure you do have a drink with you because you're going to be with me for a little while today. I have a ton of content that I'm working on regarding the Idaho 4 case, and we will come back to that tonight. We're going to watch a documentary over the Idaho 4. I believe it's the ID documentary, but it's available through Amazon. So if you haven't got to see that, maybe you live in a different country or you just didn't get to see it, you can watch that here tonight. So just make sure you have your bell icon alerted to all notifications so you'll be notified of that extra video since we're doing 2 today. But this video here, let's go ahead and get into this. So documents detailing findings from Harmony Montgomery's homicide investigation have been unsealed in New Hampshire. The documents reveal how investigators learned from the 5-year-old girl's stepmother, Kayla Montgomery, that Adam, the child's father, struck Harmony on December 7th, 2019, which appeared to cause her death. If you haven't been following this case, that is all right, because Vinny on Court TV is going to get us caught up, and then we're going to read through the PCA that just came out earlier today. It details exactly what happened to Harmony before and after her death. So before I play that video, if you guys are just now joining us, we're talking about Harmony Montgomery today, and we are going to go ahead and get right into it because the PCA is a little bit long, and I want to come back and do another live this evening with y'all too. So, and good morning and good afternoon, everybody, wherever you're from, or good evening. So this is Harmony here. Vinny did a pretty good video detailing everything that's kind of going on in this case. So I figured we could watch it, get caught up, and then we'll go ahead and get into the PCA. I did put the link at the top of I pinned it at the top of the comments. If anybody wants to look over the PCA as we're going, or if you just want to look over it, you know, in your own time too, it's there for you. It's available. And it's also in the description as well.
Where is 5-year-old Harmony Montgomery? What happened to her? These are questions that have remained unanswered for more than 3 years in Manchester, New Hampshire. Harmony's parents were not together, and she lived with her father, Adam, and her stepmother, Kayla. But sometime in the fall of 2019, Harmony vanished. But no one said anything. There was no call to police. There was no alert. There was no search. Just a little girl missing and no one looking for her. That changed in late 2021 when her mother reported her missing. The search was intense, the investigation exhaustive, but the results not complete. Harmony was never found, but her father Adam was charged with her murder. He's on trial now for weapons charges, but we are learning a lot more about Harmony's tragic life from the testimony of witnesses, including her stepmother, Kayla. Tonight, we take an in-depth look at the life and disappearance of little Harmony Montgomery. I'm Vinnie Politan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Closing Arguments. I want to begin by showing you a picture and asking you a question. Why was Harmony smiling? You know, I look at this picture and, you know, she seems happy. And you look at her life and you wonder, how could she have been happy? How could she have been happy? The life that she was dealt, and the cards that she was dealt in her life, like, how could she be smiling? Yet she was. Speaks volumes about the perseverance of children and how they come into this world and how they just want to experience things and be loved. And they're, you know, they're born happy. Smile for the camera, you know? But her life was not the life a child should have. And you know, there's many different reasons. One major reason is her father, Adam. Bad guy, worst father. And I'm not even judging the murder charges. I'm just judging from what we know as a fact. She went missing in 2019. He didn't say anything, didn't make a call, didn't do anything. That by itself makes you a horrendous parent or step-parent, by the way. A child is missing, you don't do anything, you don't say anything, you don't look for her, you don't, just move on. Just continue living your life, doing whatever you're doing. But this was the man who was in charge of Harmony. This is the man who got custody of Harmony because Harmony's mother battling a drug addiction. So this is the guy who was in charge. And this is the guy that she looked towards. This is the guy that she trusted. Not a good guy. So what exactly was her life like? And that's something that we want to take a look at tonight. To understand the life that she was living, what happened around the time that she disappeared, and prosecutors believe she was murdered. And then, you know, what happened in the search for her? Where are they looking? What does the evidence show us? We're going to go through all of that in this next hour. And one of the reasons we're doing it now is that her father, Adam, is on trial. Not for her murder. He's charged with that. That's coming up. That's around the corner. But he's on trial for being a felon in possession of weapons, being a career criminal in possession of weapons. So there's a lot at stake for him, a lot of years behind bars. But during the course of this trial, we're also learning more. And that's because Harmony's stepmom, Kayla Montgomery, is testifying. And what exactly does she know? To me, she knows everything. I believe from the beginning she would know everything. They weren't living in the Taj Mahal. They were living in a very modest home with a mom, a dad, and some kids. And one of the kids goes missing and you don't know anything? Come on. She knows everything. I believe she knows everything about what happened inside that home and what happened to that little girl. So we'll see. So she's testifying in this weapons case, and part of the testimony is very relevant to the life of Harmony and gives us some insight into what that life was like. Being a child in the home of two drug addicts who care more about themselves than their children. Two people who did absolutely nothing when this girl went missing. Probably because she didn't, go missing. Like, if your child disappears, you're going to reach out, you're going to say something, you're going to call, oh my goodness, I need help, help me find my child. That didn't happen. And why didn't it happen? Common sense tells us why. But prosecutors have to prove it in a court of law. We know that. But Kayla Montgomery's testifying in the weapons case because she's there. She's got her own legal problems. She's cutting deals left and right, trying to keep herself out of prison as much as possible. But the testimony is giving us a peek inside the home. Let's take a listen.
Where did you live back in October of 2019?
I was living at 77 Guilford Street in Manchester, New Hampshire,
How long did you live there?
for about a year and a half.
For a year and a half. Why did you stop living there?
Because we got kicked out of the house.
Was that an eviction?
Yes,
Do you remember what month and what year that was?
November 2019.
When you lived at the 77 Guilford Street address, who did you live with there?
It was myself, Adam, Seamus, Declan, and Harmony. I was working up until November 2019 at Dunkin' Donuts. I would work 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. And Adam would be home with the kids while I'm at work. And he would drop me off and pick me up from work because I didn't have a license. And then after he would pick me up, I would be at the house with the kids, and he would leave some nights because we were using drugs.
When you say we were using drugs, what do you mean?
Like getting high, using heroin and crack and weed. I know that there were people at the house that came so that we could buy drugs off them, and Adam was showing them to those couple of people that came by trying to sell them. And I remember I was taking care of the kids, and I was looking to see what was going on in the living room from the kitchen, and it was just chaos in that house at that time, that same night.
Why is that? Why was it chaos?
It was just a lot of people going in and out, and taking care of the kids at the same time. It was, I don't even know.
And I think you said that night. Are we talking about nighttime?
Yes.
So the incident that you're describing, were you already aware at that point that the guns had been stolen from the Frayne house?
Yes.
All right. And you said people had come to sell drugs?
Yeah.
Was that to you or to someone else?
To Adam, but I was gonna be doing the drugs too.
Okay. So they came to sell drugs to Adam. You were going to do the drugs as well.
Yes.
And it sounded like you said he offered to sell them the firearms?
Yeah, to trade them or buy them.
Firearms, drugs. Oh, and we were taking care of the kids. You're not really taking care of the kids. You're not. I understand you got a drug problem. Whether you get help or don't get help for it, you can still pick up you know you can't take care of those kids, and you know you're not taking care of those kids. Do something. Reach out for help. Give the kids a chance. They didn't. They didn't give Harmony a chance. Let's bring in our guest tonight. Joining us tonight from Jacksonville, Alabama, forensic death investigator, professor of forensics at Jacksonville State University, and host of the very popular Body Bags podcast, Joseph Scott Morgan is with us. Also joining us tonight in Michigan City, Indiana, founder of Victims News Online. Check it out. She's also a former private investigator. Erica Morse is with us. And from Boston, Massachusetts, Boston 25 reporter has covered this story in depth from the beginning. Bob Ward is back with us as well. Great to see everyone tonight. Bob, this is like a house of horrors for these kids. And it's not just Harmony, but Harmony's the one who disappears. But there's drugs, there's people coming in and out, there's firearms, things are being stolen. This is unreal.
It really is, and that's a great way to put it, a house of horrors. I've been covering that gun trial, and one of the things that we're hearing is that Adam Montgomery himself was having major issues with his addiction, and he was just sort of out of control in that period of time. You know, this gun case this trial that's going on right now is not related to Harmony, but Harmony, her ghost kind of hovers over this entire thing, because what we're talking about are the last months of Harmony Montgomery's life, and they're in that takes place inside that house on Guilford Street, where you're hearing the allegations of guns being run out of there, of people doing drugs left and right, people coming and going. And in the middle of all that is little Harmony and at least one of Kayla's other children. It's just hard to wrap your head around this.
Absolutely. Erica Morris, it gets worse, obviously. Let me read for you this. This is from an affidavit. Adam's uncle, Kevin Montgomery, said he returned to Manchester in July of 2019 after a trip to Florida and observed Harmony with a black eye. Kevin said that Adam told him he had caused the injury to Harmony. At the time, he said, I quote, I bashed her around the house. Uncle Kevin also recalled Harmony being spanked hard on the butt, Harmony being forced to stand in the corner for hours, and Adam ordering Harmony to scrub the toilet with her toothbrush. 5 years old, Erica.
We've talked about this before, Vinny, and this was no environment for 3 tender-age children. This just was not. I had actually written it down on a Post-it note earlier, Kayla's statement. It was just chaos in the house that night. That really stood out to me. I think it was chaos in the house every night. I don't think that one particular night stood out. I think that is the environment in which these children lived. We know this from the fact that it was almost 2 years to the time that Harmony was even reported missing. We'll say it again, not by a relative, but by a DCS or an FSSA worker who caught Kayla lying about those benefits. This was just the most heartbreaking situation. No place for 3 tender-age children to be. Constant chaos, weapons, drugs, people in and out. If Kayla hadn't already told us that Adam killed her, we could have a dozen different suspects just from the amount of traffic going in and out of that home.
Joseph Scott Morgan, people are going to get even more angry now. Let me play for you the New Hampshire Attorney General here when he announced the charges against Adam for the murder.
Specifically, Mr. Montgomery has been charged with the following 4 crimes. Second-degree murder for recklessly causing the death of Harmony Montgomery, a person under 13 years of age, under circumstances manifesting an extreme indifference to the value of human life, by repeatedly striking Harmony in the head with a closed fist in Manchester on or about December 7, 2019.
Okay, we heard Uncle Kevin's, quoting Adam, I bashed her around the house. Now we've got the Attorney General, Joseph, talking about 5-year-old Harmony being struck in the head with a closed fist, causing the death of Harmony. What does it take to take the life of a 5-year-old girl with a closed fist?
Not much on the part of a grown man, particularly a man so prone and used to violence, Vin. Back on June 16, 2022, Bob Ward, who's on with us tonight, posted an image on Twitter of the interior of this apartment that they lived in. And it's absolutely deplorable. But the one thing that you can take away from this image is the fact that when the police served a warrant in this place, they were looking for particulate evidence, it would appear. These photos were essentially provided by this kind of anonymous person named Ginger at the time. And the tile is gone. I think that there's some indication that a refrigerator may have been replaced, may have been used to facilitate something rather ominous at that particular time. And, we go back to the intensity that the police were working this scene. Remember, they put the tent up in the backyard, approximating this time. They even had the cameras then that went down into the sewer. They were grasping for anything that they could find, some remnant of Harmony, this poor child who's already impacted by this disability she has. She is totally and completely, Vin, at the mercy of these people indwelling this environment that just lived in these, I don't know how to, just deplorable conditions, and deplorable in the worst way, evil that they were exposing this child to day in and day out. And Lord only knows who could have had their hands on this child at any given time.
Absolutely. And we saw those images actually from the I think it's the Union Street apartment that they were living in. And we're going to get into that scene coming up in just a little bit, plus coming up next hour.
Investigators believe that Harmony disappeared within 2 weeks of her family being evicted from their home here on Guilford Street in Manchester.
There's Matt Johnson on the scene. So they get evicted, right? And the question is, what happens to Harmony? Where is she? How did she disappear? When did she disappear? Well, of course, when you do the investigation, you're going to speak to the two people in the house, the adults, right? Adam and Kayla. Take a look, because their stories didn't really line up in the initial investigation. You've got Adam's wife, Kayla Montgomery. He asked, the last time she had physically seen him, Harmony, Kayla said that sometime in November or December, she saw Harmony one morning prior to going to work. Adam said he was driving Harmony back to Crystal, who is Harmony's mom, who was living in Lowell, Massachusetts. Adam said that he had not seen Harmony since Crystal came to pick her up in Manchester around Thanksgiving. Well, the stories don't make sense. They don't line up. So then Kayla gave a more detailed statement, saying on the day after Thanksgiving in 2019, Adam dropped her off at work, meaning Kayla was dropped off at work, and said he was going to bring Harmony to her mother to live with her. Kayla stated that she had not seen Harmony since that day. So you've got inconsistent statements, you've got lies. So when Adam Montgomery's questioned by police, they confront him with this. Take a listen.
I already told you the other day what transpired. So we didn't even go to her mother's house.
Okay, who didn't go to her mother's house?
Harmony was on.
Okay, so Harmony didn't go to Chris's house. So explain to me how she didn't end up going to Chris's house.
I've already explained this to you.
Okay.
Well, there's some discrepancies between what you're telling us and what other people are telling us. You're saying you brought her down to Mass. Somebody said she came up from Mass.
I never once said I brought her down to Mass.
What did you say? She came up here to get her?
I never once said. I was on your video recording the other day. I never once said I went down to Mass.
So you're saying that she came up from Mass?
I'm not saying anything else.
Why is it that you refuse to talk about her every time we bring her up?
Because you guys are just sitting here beating a bush. It's over and over. You guys asked me what happened the other day. I told you what happened.
You wouldn't tell us the other day.
You guys talked to me the other day. I explained to him what happened the other day. And now, it was just a charade. Yep, no, don't worry about it. You're not under arrest, and I'll come up with some.
Arrest you?
No, the other day, no. But then you had a fucking SWAT team roll up on me and the D-Techs follow me around for the last 3 days.
Yeah, people come around the woodwork. That's what we're trying to tell you. Like, we don't want you to be painted as a monster. We want you to maybe explain yourself a little bit and give us some side of your story. We have nothing. We have just what we're hearing from people. $40,000 to drag a lot of people out, whether you believe you're your friends or not.
Well, I bet
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, I know it is. Absolutely it is.
That's what we're trying to get. Now's your time. Like, you keep locking up on us. You don't want to tell us anything about her.
I got nothing else to say.
I think he's used that line before, right? This guy, career criminal. Let's bring back in our guests, Joseph Scott Morgan, Erica Morris, and Bob Ward from Boston 25. So, Bob, Crystal, the mom, I mean, there was no exchange. She didn't have custody.
No.
That was all made up, right?
That's right. That's right. And that was corroborated because Crystal had a boyfriend at the time who she lived with in Lowell, Massachusetts. The police went to talk to him, and he said he never saw Harmony. So Harmony never made it to Lowell, Massachusetts. Crystal was telling the truth. It's been corroborated. There was no exchange of Harmony to Crystal Sorey. That plainly did not happen. And I think what you see in that interrogation is Adam knows that, and he's just doing whatever he can to deflect away from the truth of the matter is that he did not hand over his daughter to her mother.
So, Erica, at this point, I mean, as chaotic as their life was, now they're getting evicted from the home, and everything is kind of in turmoil. Yet it seems investigators are pretty clear. They believe the murder took place on the 7th of December.
You know, again, and Joseph referenced it earlier, they took a lot from that house, from the apartment in the June search last year, from floorboards to wall boards to the refrigerator. I believe they searched a drain. There was something biological particulate that indicated either time of death or someone, another witness maybe that we don't know about, has provided a more accurate timeline, because I don't trust the timeline from either one of them. I mean, from Kayla or Adam, simply because of the amount of drugs that were being used. We cannot accept their timeline as satisfactory. So there has to be some type of biological or perhaps digital evidence that we don't know about yet that has placed this event on the 7th for them to be so specific about that date.
So here's Kayla Montgomery explaining to the jury in the weapons trial why she lies.
How did you come to be there for that proffer?
Because I got subpoenaed to be questioned about Harmony, and I lied to the grand jury because I was scared.
So let me back up. Had you been charged with a crime prior to meeting for that proffer?
Yes.
Prior to meeting for that proffer, you said, I think you had been charged with a crime?
Yes.
Do you remember what you had been charged with?
Welfare fraud.
Anything else?
And 2 counts of receiving stolen property.
And do you remember being charged with perjury as well?
Yes.
Joseph Scott Morgan, one of the challenges here is trying to get to the bottom of everything, right? Trying to get to the truth. But I mean, even people who are cooperating, you know, you got to figure out when can you believe what they're saying. You know, you've got to trust the words of an admitted perjurer in front of the grand jury who was getting welfare payments while Harmony was missing. So it's tough. Why do you think that she's not been found? Why we haven't been able to find her?
For me, I think that, and I hate to say this, but I think that something more horrific than we can ever begin to imagine took place in that apartment. That's just my gut feeling about this, that in some way they attempted to dispose of Harmony's remains and put as much distance between themselves and her remains as possible. That's what I believe. And she was spirited off somewhere. They took her and disposed of her in some manner. In what manner, I don't know. It was mentioned about the search for biological evidence at the scene. And here's the thing. When an individual is domiciled at a location, you expect to find their DNA in that location. Okay, just touch DNA, those sorts of things that are consistent with a life being lived, right? But when you begin to think about the sourcing of DNA, like this, you begin to think about, well, if you have a large volume of blood, that's not something that is considered to be normal, for instance. And I have no evidence that they had that much blood, but you begin to put things together relative to what may have happened. And then when you think about searching in places like drains, again, it sends a chill up my spine as a death investigator, because I think that something sinister could have happened. And they have some kind of insight, some kind of information to this. And I think down the tracks, this may be revealed.
As I started this whole hour off, I think she knows just about everything. And I don't understand.
I agree. Yeah.
Why they haven't been able to find her if she is fully cooperating in all this, which should be her obligations in all of this. Okay, our guests are staying with us. When we come back, we're going to continue. We're going to take a look at that search for Harmony. We're going to take you to that apartment and get some more information there. We'll be right back.
Manchester in December 2019. Almost a year later, October 2020, they were evicted. Neighbors in this area say that they never saw Harmony. This community is still devastated with the loss of Harmony, her body not yet been found. This is one of two memorials out in front of the last place that she may have lived, with Kayla and Adam Montgomery.
Matt Johnson up there in Manchester, day off from the trial today, but going around the neighborhoods showing us where all this stuff is taking place. I want to go through a timeline because I think it's significant here in this search for Harmony Montgomery. You've got April 2019, Harmony's mom, Crystal Soares, that's her last communication with Harmony. It's around Easter time. November 2019, Adam Montgomery and Kayla evicted from that Guilford Street home. In December of 2021, Manchester police announced they received a report that Harmony had not been seen since 2019. In 2022, they searched the Guilford Street home, but then in June of 2022, police searched Adam and Kayla's former Union Street home, where we just saw Matt Johnson. Let's bring back in our guests, Joseph Scott Morgan, Erica Morse, and Bob Ward from Boston 25. Bob, take us inside that apartment. Take us there. What was it like? What did they find? And when did they start living there?
Well, that is kind of, I'm not really clear on that. Last week during the trial, there was some testimony that they didn't move into that apartment until March of 2020. So, maybe there's some new information that they moved there earlier than that, but that's what was brought up at the trial. And that's kind of what we had been looking at straight through, as we were trying to figure out why that interest in that apartment, because it's 3 months after she's last seen. It's one of those little mysteries in this case. So the day after the search, I was able to get inside the apartment, and I'm the only one that got in there. It is a small 1-bedroom unit. I got in there the day after the search, and already the landlord was making renovations and trying to get things back in order. And there you see the bedroom closet that was pulled apart. The tenant who was there last year told us they took all of her things out, and that they took some pieces from inside, like I think it was in the ceiling of the closet. They took some items out of that. You can see wherever you see floorboards in my pictures, that's where they either took the carpet or they picked up tile and they just took it right out of the apartment. So I remember they took carpet from the bottom of the floor and the bedroom closet into a hallway, a very narrow and short hallway, and then into the kitchen itself. They took pieces of tile or carpeting that was in front of the sink area, around the refrigerator, and then if you have the kitchen right in front of you, you go to the right. As you go out, the bathroom is behind the kitchen. We didn't take any pictures of it. We didn't have a lot of time in there. We had to work fast. But the tenant said they also were taking pieces of pipe from the bathroom. And that's such a chilling thing to even consider what that means. The refrigerator you see there in my pictures, that is the replacement refrigerator that the police or the FBI brought to the apartment after they took the refrigerator that was inside the apartment. And, you know, when you start putting this together, and your guest talked about the search in the sewer, now we know that they searched pipes in the bathroom. You talk about that refrigerator. It's just, I'm tempted not to connect those dots because it is so awful what that might mean. If Harmony was in that refrigerator after she was killed, I have a hard time putting that together because it is such a tiny apartment to have 2 adults, 2 or 3 other kids in there. It's cramped anyway, and it just, I hope that's not where this is leading, but it makes you wonder what is happening. Now, in addition to all that, Adam Montgomery had access to, I believe, 2 vehicles, and they found those vehicles very early on, and those cars are still in the custody of the police. So putting it together, after Guilford Street, after they left Guilford Street, they were evicted from there. They had no place to go for a period of time. I interviewed Kayla's mother. And when I say interview, I meant shouted questions to her, and she took a couple of questions. She answered them. And she remembers the Adam and Kayla bringing the kids, including Harmony, to her apartment on the west side of Manchester at around Thanksgiving, asking if they could come to Thanksgiving, if they might be able to stay a while because they were going to be kicked out of the apartment. So at some point it goes Guilford Street to living in a car to getting to that Union Street apartment. We know they have the car, we know they have the refrigerator, we know they searched in the sewer, and we know they searched in those pipes. And then not too long ago, just a few weeks ago, the police were in Revere, Massachusetts, which is just north of Boston, and they were searching in the marshes out there as well. So it's just an awful set of facts. There's the refrigerator being loaded onto the evidence wagon being taken out of there. And I'll tell you, Vinny, all of us in the media were stunned to see that. You know, I've been doing this a long time, and I haven't seen something like that happen. And what it suggests here is just truly awful.
Beyond awful. Joseph Scott Morgan, putting these pieces together, what images are coming to your mind right now?
Okay, let's just don't use this case. Let's just talk about cases that you and I have covered. And we've covered cases before in our long history together, Vin, involving drains and sinks and bathtubs and this sort of thing. One of the main things that you begin to think about from an evidentiary standpoint is you want to get to what are referred to as the drain traps. That's the curved areas beneath sinks, within tubs, to get to that interior plumbing, because those areas trap bits of what we would consider it's an evidence-rich environment. Now, some of it can be compromised. So once you get your hands on that as an investigator, that's something that you're going to protect as best you possibly can, and it will be analyzed very carefully. That's my thought when we begin to talk about drain pipes. And certainly there are many other cases where I've had entire floors that have been ripped up out of apartments, either involving tile, wood flooring, because you get down into cracks and crevices. You think about carpeting. Carpeting is like a big sponge, because not only do you get wet sample out of there that will dry, you also get fiber evidence out of there, hair, that sort of thing, skin samples, those sorts of things. So all of this is going to go back to the state crime lab, and they will have gone over that with a fine-tooth comb. I think that that's very important to keep in mind. And to the point that was made about the fridge, listen, police generally don't do something particularly, this I don't want to use the term bold, but you're not typically going to see a group of crime scene investigators wheeling a refrigerator down the street that's wrapped in plastic, okay? They see value in that for some reason. They're just not going to arbitrarily take that. I can't even remember cases in the past where I've seen that happen. I know that it probably has. I've had freezers removed, but a refrigerator itself, I think that that's rather curious considering how small this area is. And this all comes down to time and containment. If something nefarious has happened in that apartment, many times people will look to something like a cooling system, like a refrigerator or a freezer, in order to hold a biological sample of some kind, in this case, thinking about Harmony, until they can decide what to do. And when that happens, there remains contact the interior of that environment. And again, that's a potential evidence-rich environment.
All right, we've got more to get to in the life of Harmony Montgomery, the death of Harmony Montgomery, the search for Harmony Montgomery, plus coming up next hour.
But that's not. You don't even want to.
I'm right. I got nothing to say.
Adam, right? Montgomery. Yeah. Do you remember me from the Elliott Hospital from a while back, man?
Yeah, I got nothing to say.
Right. So hey, man, the only thing we're trying to figure out is where Harmony is. Okay.
Okay.
So the concern is that you guys are the same, right? Okay. You're not in trouble. Nobody said you're losing your daughter. Okay. So I want to make that clear. Okay. So all you know, I have my body cam on too, just like everybody else is being on video. So you just need to find out where she is. That's all I'm concerned about. I mean, you're not in any trouble right now that I know of.
Okay.
We have no warrants.
Okay.
So where's your daughter so we can check on her to make sure that she's okay?
Yeah, right now I have nothing to say to you guys.
But that's not what I'm just asking where she is.
I have nothing to say.
So you don't care if your daughter's okay or not?
I do. I listen, I have nothing to say.
Is your daughter...
If I'm under arrest, you guys can arrest me.
I told you he's used that line many, many times before. I've got nothing to say. I mean, par for the course for a career criminal. I want you to take a listen. This is Mike Sullivan, testified in the trial and spoke to Matt Johnson afterwards, talking about what it was like inside that house. Take a listen.
Did you see Harmony at all in your interactions with Adam?
So I'm not coming back to this place after this, right? But like Adam, you know, the reason why we ended up having like our falling out, a lot of us, was because we were, you know, my house used to be where everybody like partied at, you know. And there was a day we were all hanging out, and we were there for like probably three and a half hours, you know. And you know, he said, "Oh, I got to go check on my daughter. She's in the car." You know, so, and like, you know, a bunch of us kind of got upset with him because we found out that his daughter had been sitting in the car for 3.5 hours, you know. So, and then that day that I had gone over to his house, when he referenced the AR-15 in the back, he, you know, he had all kinds of stuff out around his daughter, you know, like.
She was there?
All kinds of stuff around his, you know, like all kinds of paraphernalia.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Let's bring back in our guests, Justice Scott Morgan, Erica Morris, Bob Ward. Erica, you know, I listened to that, and I still think about this child. You know, a child will love and trust their father. That's just how they're born, and they look to her, and she just sat in that car for 3.5 hours while dad is inside doing his drugs.
Benny, I have worked with hundreds, if not more, parents of missing kids, and, you know, specialize in working with fathers with missing daughters. His responses, his reactions, those are not responses of a caring father who is concerned about his daughter's well-being. It just isn't. He's a really bad liar. He's a really bad criminal. And unfortunately, when this disappearance was first reported back in 21, we talked about this, and I said, I don't think this is going to be a good outcome, because statistically we already knew what we were looking at here. Of course he didn't care about her sitting in a car for 3.5 hours. She was his punching bag. He's been arrested for giving her a black eye before. He's been arrested for, and also let's keep in mind that one of his charges right now is abuse of a corpse. So not concealment, but abuse. This little girl at her tender age of 5 years old lost her life by the hands of her father. And there is no way to get around that. And it is just sad. And all I can hope for as an advocate and somebody who works with these families is that something will be learned by another parent from this horrendous situation.
Bob Ward, we only have about 20 seconds here, but what are the thoughts there? The community so impacted by all of this.
Yeah, they are. They raised $150,000 in reward money to try to find Harmony Montgomery. Everywhere you go, people up in New Hampshire still express concern about her, even though the Attorney General says that they have biological evidence to show that Harmony is no longer with us. It's a high interest case. Everyone in New Hampshire cares about this little girl. And I will say one thing, there is one bright spot in all of this. And those beautiful pictures that you're showing of Harmony Montgomery, those were taken by her foster parents, and they loved her.
Absolutely.
And they are just devastated by what has happened. And there was an attempt by other people close to me who were trying to were interested in adopting Harmony, but it just didn't work that way. Yeah. The courts went a different way, and it's just a horrible case all around.
We are out of time. Bob Ward, Boston 20.
So this is such a tragic case. There were so many missteps here. And the little girl was almost saved. I mean, there was a family out there that wanted her, that would have loved her, that would have given her a home, a bed, a real home, not a car. Oh my Lord. I couldn't imagine being 5 years old and living in a vehicle with two drug addict parents, step-parents, and they're more worried about the drugs, obviously, than her because they left her in the car for 3 hours to go do drugs. Did they at least crack a window? I mean, what the hell what's wrong with people? So I'm going to give you a trigger warning. There's probably going to be a few things in this document that's either going to trigger you to be upset, either angry or sad, or a little of both. But this is the arrest warrant here. I'm trying to figure out where I should be reading from because I'm sharing it a different way today. So he's been charged with second-degree murder, tampering with witness and informants, falsifying physical evidence, and abuse of a corpse. And this is through the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department, I believe. Yeah, sheriff's. Let's just. This is Detective John Dunleavy, and he declares under penalty of perjury, I am employed by a current assignment work experience, and it says see attachment A, so it'll probably say where he has all of his information and training and knowledge down on. This is just the same, actually. Did they say that on top? Yeah, they did. Okay. I was just making sure they said the same thing. Yeah. Maybe redacted. Looks like it is. So, okay. I'm trying to see here if this is the sealment of it. I wonder if this is, let me see something. Okay, I think we need to start here. I think this is when they were sealing it, but we'll read this as well. So it says state's motion to seal probable cause statement for arrest warrant. Now comes the state of New Hampshire by and through its attorneys, the Office of the Attorney General, and respectfully request that this honorable court seal the probable cause statement for arrest warrant in this matter. In support of its request, the state submits the following. And I also want to let you guys know before we really get started, if you guys see at the top of the chat, there's the pinned comment there. If you guys want to look over these documents, I pinned the link for you guys. So, and if you guys wouldn't mind hitting the like button, it'll send it out into the algorithm and we can get more people in the chat. More people will get to know Harmony's case. Detective John Dunleavy of the Manchester Police Department is applying for an arrest warrant for Adam Montgomery for the murder of his then 5-year-old daughter, Harmony Montgomery, in December 2019 and other related charges. Oops. I've got to go here, number 2. While the investigation into the murder of Harmony Montgomery has been extensive, the investigation remains ongoing. There are additional witnesses who remain to be interviewed, and based on the information they provide, there may be further investigative steps to take. Let's see if I can blow this up a little bit. Oh, I can. Okay. Oops. That was a little bit too much. There we go. In addition, once the new charges become public, additional witnesses may come forward who have previously been holding back. 3. If the information in the probable cause statement is public, at the current time, it could taint those future investigative efforts. Number 4, the New Hampshire Supreme Court has recognized the protecting the confidentiality of investigative documents in the pre-indictment phase of an ongoing criminal investigation is sufficiently compelling interest for non-disclosure that can overcome the public. The public right to, right of access to court records. This makes the probable cause statement a document which is confidential and it's entirely per Rule 50B1 and 50C2A and C. Wherefore, the state respectfully requests that this honorable court, A, seal the probable cause statement for arrest warrant in this matter, B, allow the state to provide a copy of the probable cause statement to the defendant in discovery, and C, order such other and further relief as may be just and proper. And it was respectfully submitted by the state of New Hampshire. And then this is going to be the probable cause here. So this is the introduction and background. I don't think we probably need to go through his background, but let's see. Yeah, okay. We'll start here because that's just his like training and the officer's training. And I may need to take a couple breaks to smoke my vape, you know, because this is going to be a hard one. I already know. I was reading through it earlier. Harmony Montgomery reported missing on November 18th, 2021. The Manchester Police Department received a call from a woman determined to be Crystal Sorey, date of birth 9/14/1990, regarding her biological daughter, Harmony Montgomery, date of birth 6/7/2014. Sorey reported that Harmony, who was in the physical custody of Sorey's ex, was missing and that she hadn't seen Harmony in over 6 months. Sorey identified her ex as Adam Michael Montgomery, date of birth 1/22/1990. An employee of the Manchester Police Department contacted DCYF and learned of previous addresses associated with Adam. Manchester police officer checked those addresses but were unable to locate Adam or Harmony. Oh, I think I went up too far. No. Sorry, I'm using 2 screens, so it's kind of hard to do a little bit. On December 27, 2021, DCYF notified the Manchester Police Department that they were also unable to locate Harmony. Subsequently, the Manchester Police Department initiated an investigation into the whereabouts of Harmony. Over the following days, members of the Manchester Police Department learned that Harmony had not been physically seen since approximately October/November 2019. Sorey, who resides in Massachusetts, notified authorities that she had not seen Harmony since around Easter of 2019, approximately 4/21/2019. The child had been in the physical and legal custody of her biological father, Adam Montgomery, pursuant to a decision and order from the Lawrence Juvenile Court docket 14CP0268LA, located in Essex County, Massachusetts. Or is it MA? Is that Maine or Massachusetts? Sorry, guys. I don't know why I don't know that one. Dated 12/21/2019. The case was subsequently assigned to me during my follow-up with Crystal. She explained that she had lost custody of the child in 2018 to the state of Massachusetts, in part due to substance abuse issue. Crystal said that both she and Adam had past issues with substance abuse. Crystal reported that since she has regained sobriety and unsuccessfully made attempts throughout 2021 to locate Adam and Harmony. Adam and his subsequent partner, Kayla Montgomery, date of birth 8/31/1990, had blocked all communication with Crystal through phone numbers and social media applications. Crystal said over the years she made attempts to locate Harmony by contacting various schools and driving by addresses associated with Adam, but she was unable to make any progress. Why didn't she go to the police? Crystal said that she believes she last physically saw Harmony during a FaceTime video call with Adam around Easter 2019. Crystal stated that Adam was visible in the background of the video call. Crystal recalled that Harmony seemed frightened. Beginning on 12/27/2021, members of the Manchester Police Department actively made attempts to track down Adam and talk to involved family members to establish the last time the Harmony was physically observed and known to be safe. Officers and investigators were initially unable to make contact with Adam via phone. However, investigators were able to make contact with various family members, including parties associated with Adam who resides in Florida. Through these family members, investigators received information that Adam had previously admitted to giving Harmony a black eye in approximately July of 2019. So in 2019, he gave her a black eye. Oh my Lord, have mercy. This B, first interview with Kayla Montgomery. On 12/28/2021, I spoke with Adam's wife, Kayla Montgomery. Kayla shares 3 young children with Adam who are all presently accounted for. During my follow-up with Kayla, I asked about the last time she had physically seen Harmony. Kayla said sometime in November or December 2019, she saw Harmony one morning prior to going to work. Adam said that he was driving Harmony back to Crystal, who was living in Massachusetts at the time. Kayla said that she believed Harmony had been returned to Crystal. Kayla claims she never saw or heard about Harmony after that day. Number 11 is Kayla had not physically seen Adam since late October 2021 and had not spoken with him since around mid-November 2021. Kayla claimed Adam was living in a sober house and had left the area to live in Maine with another female. So it says Part C, first contact with Adam Montgomery. On 12/31/2021, patrol officers were able to make contact with Adam and his new girlfriend, Kelsey Small, together sleeping in a vehicle in the area of Harville Street in Manchester. Investigators, including myself, Detective Kozawak, and Detective Riley, responded to that location to speak with the couple. Small claimed that she had been romantically involved with Adam for over a year. Small said that she was aware that Adam has 3 children from one mother and another child from before that. However, Small said that Adam was not in touch with any child from his prior relationship. Small claimed that Adam had never talked about Harmony and she had no information on where she may be. During our interaction with Adam, we stressed our concern that Harmony had not been physically observed in over 2 years and that we had concern for whether or not she was still alive. Adam did not exhibit much emotion or reaction to this. Wow. 2 years. Part D, further interview with Kayla Montgomery. Also on 12/31/2021, Kayla Montgomery participated in a voluntary interview with Detective Riley and myself. During this interview, she spoke about the last time she saw Harmony. In this interview, she told us that 2 days after Thanksgiving 2019, which would have been 11/30/2019, Adam had taken her to work, which she said was at 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., shift at Dunkin' Donuts on Eddy Road in Manchester. She said that while Adam was dropping her off, he said he was bringing Harmony to Harmony's mom, and he was going to meet Harmony's mom and bring Harmony to stay with her. Kayla said that later that day, I lost my spot. Adam picked her up and that he no longer had Harmony. He said that he just dropped Harmony off. Kayla said she assumed Adam dropped Harmony off in Massachusetts as that is where Crystal was living at the time. Detectives were concerned about Kayla's account that Adam claimed he was bringing Harmony to Crystal, especially because Crystal outright denied ever taking custody of Harmony from Adam at that time or ever seeing Harmony following the video chat in April of 2019. The investigation revealed that in November 2019, Crystal lived at 39 Chapel Street, number 3 in Lowell, Massachusetts, with her boyfriend, Joseph Eckert, date of birth 12/17/1989. Sorry. On 12/31/2021, Joseph was interviewed and he confirmed that he was living with Crystal in 2019 and Harmony was not with Crystal at all from October 2019 to present. In fact, Joseph stated that he has never met Harmony in person. A review of DCYF involvements indicated that social workers had not viewed Harmony since 10/1/2019 during a home visit with Adam Montgomery in New Hampshire. That's crazy. Number 17, not only had family members not seen Harmony since 2019, DCYF contacted Manchester School District on 9/10/2021. A representative from the school district stated that Harmony was not registered in the district. And this is Part E, family court ordered locating and protective supervision of Harmony Montgomery. Part 18, on 12/31/2021, the Ninth Circuit Family Division, Manchester, granted protective supervision of Harmony to DCYF from Adam via a juvenile abuse/neglect ex parte order. At the time of the order, Adam had been Harmony's sole custodian. The order stated specifically that Adam was ordered to cooperate with Manchester Police Department and assist with locating Harmony. Detective Riley served Adam with the order on that afternoon of 12/31/2021 at approximately 16:10 hours. However, Adam refused to provide any information on the whereabouts of Harmony. When handed the order by detectives and told that he had to provide information on Harmony's whereabouts, Adam said, "Either arrest me or I'm leaving," and refused to answer additional questions. Number 19, Adam was arrested on charges related to Harmony on 1/4/2022 and was formally charged and arraigned on 1/5/2022. These charges consisted of second-degree assault for the incident in July 2019 in reference with custody and 2 charges of endangering the welfare of a child. He had been detained at the Hillsborough County House of Corrections since that date. Part F, Kayla Montgomery's grand jury testimony. Number 20, on 5/20/2022, Kayla Montgomery testified before the grand jury for Hillsborough County, Northern District as part of the grand jury's investigation into the disappearance of Harmony Montgomery. Kayla was under oath for her testimony. During her testimony, Kayla was asked about the last time she saw Harmony. She stated in sum that it was 2 days after Thanksgiving 2019, which would have been 11/30/2019, when Adam dropped her off at work, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. shift at Dunkin' Donuts in Goffstown. Harmony was in the car, and Adam said he was bringing Harmony to Harmony's mother. When Adam picked Kayla up a little after 2 p.m., Harmony was no longer with Adam, and Adam said he brought Harmony to her mother's house, or to Harmony's mother. At this time, Kayla said she never saw Harmony after that, and she didn't know what happened to Harmony. Investigators researched Kayla's claim about the location and shift she was working 2 days after Thanksgiving 2019, which was 11/30/2019. All Dunkin' Donuts locations in Goffstown confirmed that Kayla was not working there on 11/30/2019. Girl wasn't working. Records obtained from New Hampshire's Employment Security show that the only employer who paid Kayla in November 2019 was a Dunkin' Donuts in Hooksett, New Hampshire, and the Dunkin' Donuts store confirmed that Kayla was fired from that location on 11/23/2019. As a result, an arrest warrant was obtained for Kayla for 2 charges of perjury. Number 22, Kayla was arrested on the perjury charges on 6/3/2022. On the same day, Kayla participated in a proffer interview at Manchester Police Department. Her attorney was present for the interview. Is everyone okay in the chat? I haven't looked in a while, so I think you guys are okay, though. Nightbot's doing its little thing. Teresa's in there. Isabel's there. Okay, we're good. Everybody's here. It's not letting me, really scroll through the chat too much, so. So it says Kayla's first interview. Number 23. During the proffer interview, Kayla admitted that she had lied during her grand jury testimony. She stated that she had information related to Harmony Montgomery. Kayla stated that the family, herself, Adam, Harmony, SM, and DM, was evicted from where they were living on Guilford Street in Manchester the day before Thanksgiving 2019, which would have been 11/27/2019. Kayla said after that they were living in their vehicle, which we know to be a Chrysler Sebring. During their time living out of the vehicle, they stayed in the parking lot of Colonial Village on River Road in Manchester, where their friend Anthony Bodero, date of birth 8/30/1973, lived. A lot older than them. Kayla stated that from Thanksgiving up until the beginning of December, Bordino saw Harmony and the other two boys and would wave at them. She also said that Bondiro brought them Thanksgiving leftovers while they were in the Sebring, and that he saw Harmony at that time, and he and Harmony waved at each other. Kayla stated that, number 25, Kayla stated that on that day, the Chrysler Sebring broke down, known to be 12/7/2019, as discussed in further detail below. Adam Montgomery struck Harmony, which caused her death. Kayla stated that while living in the vehicle together, Adam was extremely upset that 5-year-old Harmony was not saying when she needed to go to the bathroom and was having accidents in the car. Kayla stated that after each accident, Adam would get upset and would strike Harmony in the face/head with a closed fist. Kayla stated that on 12/7/2019, prior to the vehicle breaking down, Adam struck Harmony in the face/head on 3 separate occasions because she had a bathroom accident. This happened while Adam was driving the vehicle. Kayla described that Harmony was in the rear seat of the passenger side while Adam was driving. He turned his body and delivered sets of 3 to 4 blows with a closed fist to Harmony's head/face on 3 separate occasions over the course of a few minutes. Kayla stated that after the final blow, Adam said words to the effect of that he felt something or heard something when he hit Harmony. And I think I really hurt her this time. I think I did something. Harmony began making a moaning type noise, which went on for roughly 5 minutes and then stopped. At no time did anyone stop or get Harmony medical attention as the result of this assault. Kayla said this happened in the morning while the family was on their way to the Burger King on Route 3 in Manchester, and afterwards, the family returned to the parking lot of the Colonial Village apartments. The family stayed at Colonial Village for approximately 20 minutes, during which time no one checked on Harmony. Kayla could not recall exactly what they did during this 20-minute time period. Probably ate their food that they just got. Kayla said that approximately 20 minutes, the family left the Colonial Village apartments, and shortly thereafter, their car broke down. Kayla said she thought the car died at probably 8 or 9 a.m. According to Manchester Police Department records, the car was broken down in the intersection of Elm Street and Webster Street at approximately 12:11 p.m. on 12/7/2019. Kayla said it was at that time she and Adam discovered that Harmony was not breathing and was deceased. Kayla stated that Adam went to the trunk of the vehicle, removed clothing from a black and red Under Armour duffel bag, and placed the lifeless body of Harmony into the bag. Kayla stated at no point did either of them have any conversation about getting any type of life-saving measures for Harmony, and that Adam simply put Harmony's dead body into the bag and walked it back to the parking lot of the Colonial Village apartments. Kayla indicated that once back at Colonial Village, Bodero drove them from the apartment complex back to their vehicle to collect their belongings before the vehicle was towed. Kayla said that Bordino allowed them to stay in his Audi parked in the parking lot for 2 or 3 days over the weekend. I'm going to grab my drink. Kayla stated that while they were staying in Bordino's Audi after Harmony's death, Adam was keeping the bag with Harmony's body inside of the trunk of the vehicle, but also would leave it out on the snow to stop the decomposition of the body from happening. This is going to be Anthony Bordino's grand jury testimony. On 3/21/2022, Anthony Bernardino testified before the grand jury for Hillsborough County, Northern District, as part of the grand jury's investigation into the disappearance of Harmony Montgomery. He allowed them to stay in his car and Audi for 2 days. He said he believed it was a weekend immediately after Thanksgiving, which would have been approximately 11:30 and 12/1/2019, and he testified that he brought Thanksgiving leftovers to the car for them to eat. Bernardino testified that he did not see Harmony in the Audi and that it was only Adam, Kayla, and the two younger boys, SM and DM. Bernardino testified that he never bothered to ask where Harmony was. Bernardino testified that the only 2 times he ever saw Harmony were back in August and September of 2019. Bernardino testified that when the Montgomerys left the Audi after the 2 days they stayed there, that he believed Kayla said she was going to her mother's. In his grand jury testimony, Bernardino testified that he only let the Montgomery family stay in his Audi for 2 days, but he was not aware of whether the Montgomery family was possibly living in a different car in the parking lot to his apartment building for additional days. Bernardino said that they could have stayed in their own car, the Chrysler Sebring, before it got messed up. Bernardino explained that he was aware that after the Montgomery got evicted that they had a gray Chrysler, but they didn't have the car anymore when they arrived to stay in his Audi. He said that when they arrived to stay in the Audi, they were dropped off by some friend of theirs who was a girl, and they didn't have anything other than the 2 boys and formula for the baby and diapers. Bernardino said they didn't have anything else, not even bags of clothes. So this is going to be Don Deemer's grand testimony on 5/20/2022. Bernardino's girlfriend, Donna Deemer's date of birth, wow, she's way younger than him, 11/19/1992, also testified before the grand jury for Hillsborough County, Northern District. She testified the only time she saw Harmony was September 2019, together with Bernardino. She testified about the Thanksgiving leftovers being fresh, and she delivered. Bernardino gave them to the Montgomerys either on Thanksgiving Day 2019 or the next day. She testified that she had a brief opportunity to look inside the car the Montgomerys were in, which she said was Bernardino's car, the Audi, and that she only saw the younger 2 children in the car, not Harmony. Deemer was confident that Harmony was not in the car. So this is Anthony Bernardino's proffer's interview. On 9/22/2022, a proffer interview was conducted with Anthony Bernardino. Also present was Senior Assistant Attorney General Jesse O'Neill, Detective Max Rahill, Deputy Truffs of the U.S. Marshals, Bernardino's attorney Ashley Sheehan, and myself. Bernardino indicated that he had met Adam Montgomery through Kayla in 2019. He admitted he did provide crack and fentanyl to the Montgomerys. Bernardino stated he would buy the Montgomerys food stamps off of them prior to them staying in his vehicle and after they stayed in his vehicle. Bernardino stated that after Thanksgiving of 2019, the Montgomerys came to him with just their 2 boys and no Harmony and asked if they could stay with them due to them being evicted and their car breaking down. Bernardino did not recall how the Montgomerys arrived at his home. Bernardino stated they arrived with few belongings and recalled a trash bag. Bernardino offered them his Audi to sleep, which was parked in the rear of his Colonial Village apartment building located at 21 West River Drive in Manchester, New Hampshire. Bernardino was unclear on the timing, at first saying it was the weekend after Thanksgiving, 11:30 to 12:01, but then when confronted with information that the Montgomerys still had their own car at that point, agreed that it may have been the following weekend, 12/7 through 12/8. He said he provided them Thanksgiving leftovers, which would have been older leftovers if it was the following weekend, and a pizza. Bernardino denied seeing Harmony and stated he only knew that the family had been staying in the parking lot for 2 nights in his Audi. When confronted with the statement Kayla made about him seeing Harmony every day from Thanksgiving to the beginning of December and waving to Harmony and the other 2 boys in the car, Bernardino stated she was lying. I questioned Bernardino about helping the Montgomerys retrieve belongings from their car when it broke down at Webster Street and Elm Street, and he said he did not remember that happening. So this is Donna Deemer's interview. After Bernardino's interview concluded, a proffer interview was conducted with his girlfriend, Donna Deemer's, with her attorney, Dan Duckett, present. Deemer stated she only stayed at Bernardino's part-time and that she primarily resided with her parents in Derry, New Hampshire. Demers recalled the Montgomerys arriving at Bernardino's apartment and that they appeared stressed and most concerned with getting drugs. Demers recalled them carrying duffel bags and trash bags, and when asked if there was any color to the duffel bag, she stated she believed there was, but could not recall any details. Demer was not aware of Bernardino that helped the family retrieve any of their belongings from the vehicle, which had broken down. Demers remembered Adam, Kayla, and their two boys arriving, but was adamant she had never saw Harmony. Demers recalled bringing fresh Thanksgiving leftovers, possibly the day after Thanksgiving, to the Montgomerys when they were living out of their car. She initially recalled the Montgomerys were living out of the Audi at the time, but when confronted with information that the Montgomerys still had their own car that weekend, the 11-3 to 12-1, Demers admitted that she may not be remembering the car correctly. Demers stated that when she brought the Thanksgiving leftovers, there were two kids jumping around in the back seat, and she did not see Harmony in the car. At that time, SM was approximately 2.5 years old, and DM was approximately 10 months old. It is extremely unlikely that a 10-month-old would be jumping around, and therefore investigators believe that Demers may have seen Harmony without realizing it was her. This is the Facebook and Google search warrants here. During the investigation, search warrants were obtained for Facebook and Google records relevant at the time period of late November, early December 2019. Location data from Google was consistent with Montgomery staying in the Colonial Village parking lot from approximately 11/27 through 12/8/2019, which corroborates Kayla's account of the time period that they stayed there. In addition, another witness interviewed during the investigation, Kimberly Frayne, recalled personally interacting with the Montgomerys while they were staying in the Audi in the Colonial Village parking lot during the overnight hours of 12/7 and 12/8/2019. Fran went to help the Montgomerys because the Audi had died and Kayla was worried the family was in danger from the cold. Fran said she did not see Harmony at that time, and it was only Adam, Kayla, and the two boys. Facebook messages, that's kind of sounds bad, and the two boys. Facebook messages exchanged between Matt Girdron, date of birth 7/9/1981, and Kayla Montgomery also confirmed this date and time frame, showing Kayla reaching out to Grandon about the Audi having died and being concerned about the cold. December 7th through the 8th, 2019, would have been the weekend following the weekend after Thanksgiving. In other words, 1 week after the weekend, Bernardino testified that he believed Montgomery's stayed in his Audi. This corroborates Kayla's time frame of when they stayed in Bernardino's Audi. Interviews of Courtney O'Brien and Matt Garcia. On 1/5/2022, investigators spoke with Courtney O'Brien, who said her husband Matt Garcia had known Adam their entire life. She said that Adam used to work for her. She related how she and Garcia had seen Adam, Kayla, Harmony, and the two boys Thanksgiving night 2019, and that the family was living out of the Sebring at the time. O'Brien also recalled a conversation she had with Adam sometime between approximately December 2019 and January 2020, during which Adam said Harmony was with her mom. That it happened really fast and Harmony wouldn't stop peeing her pants and she was better off with her mom. On 1/5/2022, investigators also spoke with Matt Garcia, separately from Courtney O'Brien. Garcia explained that he and Adam met when he was 14 years old. He considered Adam to be a friend. Garcia said the only time he saw Harmony was on Thanksgiving 2019 when Adam, Kayla, and the kids were living in the car. Garcia told investigators about a phone call he had with Adam on 12/31/2021, which was after news broke that Harmony was missing. Garcia said that he asked Adam about the news regarding Harmony, and Adam said he had talked to the police that morning. Adam told Garcia he didn't know why the police were bothering him and that he gave Harmony back to her mom after Garcia had seen her on Thanksgiving. Garcia said Adam said he goes, the kid, meaning Harmony, wouldn't stop pissing and shitting everywhere. She was driving me nuts. We were living in the car, so I let her. I had her mom come and get her. Garcia elaborated, speaking as if he was with Adam, that Harmony was having accidents everywhere all the time, every 5 minutes. We were living in a car. I couldn't take it. I had to give her to her mom. The information from O'Brien and Garcia is consistent with Kayla's information that Adam would get upset with Harmony over bathroom accidents and eventually killed her due to having bathroom accidents in the car. finding Harmony Montgomery's DNA in the Chrysler Sebring. Investigators located the Chrysler Sebring that the Montgomery family lived in after being evicted from 77 Guilford Street, in which Harmony was killed. The vehicle, subject of a call for service at approximately 12:11 p.m. on 12/7/2019 at the intersection of Webster Street and Elm Street in Manchester. This is consistent with Kayla's statement in her 6/3/2022 proffer interview that Adam killed Harmony on the day their Sebring broke down. Tow documents show the tow company was on scene to tow the Sebrings from approximately 12:52 to 1:39 p.m. The Sebring was thereafter treated as an abandoned vehicle. An abandoned vehicle tracking report created by Auto City Collision Repair Center for the Sebring that later on 12/16/2019, there was no power to the dash, and an attempt to jumpstart the Sebring resulted in the car immediately starting to smoke. The Sebring was eventually sold to Herbert's Used Car Parts in Galveston, New Hampshire on or about 1/29/2020, where it was located by Manchester detectives on approximately 1/1/2020. The manager of Herbert's Used Auto Parts consented to the seizure and search of the Sebring by Manchester detectives. Okay, I'm going to grab a drink really quick. I'll be right back. Just a little intermission. Okay. And welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. I haven't looked in the chat in a while because I've been reading. But welcome in, everybody. I saw Mandy was here. I think we saw Obsessed with Disneyland. I saw someone else. Arlene came in. If I missed ya, I'm sorry. And if you guys wouldn't mind hitting that like button, I much appreciated. If you need my attention, you can always super chat me, super thanks me. That's always the best way. I'm just kidding. Just, like kind of put your first word in like capitalized or something. That way I can see it on the iPad, since I do have, the one eye there. So we are back to here. When the Sebring was searched, inside of the vehicle, investigators located a pink and trigger warning too, Troll's electric toothbrush, which was assigned property number JMT7. This toothbrush was submitted to the New Hampshire State Police Forensic Laboratory, the state lab, for potential DNA analysis. A buccal swab was taken from Chrysler Sorry by consent and was also submitted to the state lab for comparison purpose. Crystal. I think I said something else. I think I said Chrysler. Crystal. That's why I was like, what's going on? Upon completion of the analysis, Katie L. Swago, PhD, and criminalist 2 at the state lab issued a report dated January 19th, 2022, where she wrote, where is my mouse at, guys? It's weird working two screens. I haven't done this before, so sorry about that. The DNA obtained from the toothbrush is from a biological female. The DNA profile obtained from the toothbrush cannot be excluded as that from the biological child of Crystal Sorey based on a comparison of these DNA profiles only. It is at least 108 billion times more likely to see these genetic results if the DNA profile obtained from the toothbrush is from a biological child of Crystal Sorey than an untested, unrelated random woman. It should be noted that Harmony is the only female child of Crystal Sorey. Based on all these lab results, there is a strong reason to believe the DNA profile obtained from the toothbrush is that of Harmony Montgomery and that it will be referred to as such herein. This is movements of Harmony Montgomery's body by Adam Montgomery. Part A. Harmony's body moved to Kayla's mother's residence on WQ, I don't know if I'm saying the right street. So this is the movements. In her 6/3/2022 proffer, Kayla explained how Harmony's body was moved to various locations over the course of the next several months. She stated that after living in Bordino's Audi in the Colonial Village parking lot, they were moved in with her mother, Christina Lubin, and her mother's boyfriend, John Galeon, at 258 DPQ Street, number 1, Manchester, New Hampshire. Kayla said that when they arrived at the residence, Harmony's body, which was still in the duffel bag, was placed inside of a red cooler with a white top in the common hallway of the apartment building. That's sick. I'm going to read that part again. Kayla said that when they arrived at the residence, Harmony's body, which was still in the duffel bag, was placed inside of a red cooler with a white top in the common hallway of the apartment building. My Lord. She stated the body was left there the whole time the family stayed there until the end of December 2019. How did nobody smell that? Your common hallways are normally heated. Unless this is an outdoor, I guess, apartment. I don't know. Summer, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. It's so true. On February 18th, 2022, Lubin testified before the grand jury for Hillsborough County, Northern District. During her testimony, she explained that in December 2019, Adam, Kayla, SM, and DM moved in to live with her for 2 or 3 weeks, and they left on December 30th or 31st. Lubin said they did not have Harmony with them, and Kayla told her that Harmony had gone back to live with her mother at a rehab facility in Massachusetts. Because, yeah, you can do that. Lubin testified that during the time frame of December 2019, she was not aware of Adam or Kayla making any effort to get in touch with Harmony or Sori. She also testified that in that time frame, she did not see Adam or Kayla cry about not having Harmony. After Kayla's proffer interview, I traveled to 258 DPQ Street, Apartment 1, and obtained a consent to search from Lubin and Galen. I explained to Lubin that I needed to obtain a red cooler with a white lid. Lubin stated the cooler had been in her bedroom closet for close to 2 years. I asked her if this cooler had previously been in the common hallway, and she confirmed it was. Lubin and Galen consented to the search and seizure of the cooler. It's pictured below. The cooler was submitted to the state lab for processing. According to reports received from the state lab, the results of a screening test performed on samples from the cooler were negative for the presence of blood. In addition, no suitable areas of the friction ridge detail were developed on the cooler. That's like the red igloo cooler. Okay, so this part B. Harmony's body moved to families in transition shelter on Lake Avenue. Wow. Law enforcement previously knew that Kayla confirmed in her 6/30/2022 proffer interview that after leaving her mother's house, the family, meaning Adam, Kayla, SM, and DM, moved into a families in transition shelter. This is approximately 12/30/2019. In her proffer interview, Kayla said that the Under Armour bag with Harmony's body was brought to the fit shelter as well. Kayla said that Adam placed it in the ceiling vent in the bedroom. Kayla stated that during this time, there was liquid coming from the bag containing Harmony's dead body, and there was an odor. She said Adam placed a trash bag around the bag to keep it from leaking. That's disgusting. So this was the search of the fit shelter. This is where they stayed. So on 6/4/2022, detectives conducted a search of 177 Lake Avenue, number 1. During the search of the apartment, detectives located a ceiling vent in the bedroom pictured here. Detectives removed the vent in order to check the top side of the ceiling sheetrock. Therefore, All right, there next to the opening for the ceiling vent, detectives located a large area of staining. This area is directly next to the ceiling vent where Kayla Montgomery described that Adam Montgomery put Harmony's deceased body in the Under Armour bag. Detectives noted that this area had a smell consistent with decomposition. The photo below was taken by a detective who was standing up in the ceiling vent hole after the vent was removed. The area of staining is circled. Trigger warning. Oh my God, it looks like a freaking body. To me. Why does it look like someone stretched out, though? Lord have mercy. A large section of the ceiling sheetrock was removed and seized, which included the stained metal framing and the hole for the ceiling vent. The ceiling vent itself was also seized. The photos below show the area of sheetrock and metal framing that was seized. The area of staining is again circled. Oh, it's not as big as I thought, but still. I thought it was bigger than that. Oh, man. Forensic testing of the ceiling section from the Fitz shelter on Lake Avenue. The ceiling sheetrock with the metal framing attached together with the vent were submitted to the state lab for serology, DNA, and latent friction ridge fingerprint processing in a report dated 6/10/2022. Martinez or Lorix, we're not going to be able to say that right. Criminalist 1 at the state lab wrote that 13 areas of friction ridge detail were developed, 6 of the metal framing attached to the sheetrock and 7 on the metal vents itself. In a report dated 7/6/2022, that criminologist noted that not all areas of friction ridge detail were sufficient to be identifiable, but some of the areas contained multiple impressions. In all, the criminologist noted and analyzed 10 identifiable impressions, 9 from the metal vent and 1 from the metal framing. The criminologist matched all 9 of the identifiable impressions from the metal vent to Adam Montgomery, 3 to his left middle finger, 2 to his left little finger, 1 to his right or to his left ring finger and middle fingers. I'm trying to think of how that would go. Yeah, he's picking it up. And 1 to his left palm. Both Adam and Kayla Montgomery were excluded from the impressions from the metal framing, so that impression was subsequently searched through multi-automatic biometric identification system database. As a result, the impression from the metal framing was identified as a left little ring, middle, and index simultaneous fingers of Yard B. Luengo Mondrag. I can't say that. Investigators were able to confirm that the individual named Yard B, that guy, was a drywall installer who worked on the 177 Lake Avenue building. So he was a worker. He worked there. His fingerprints should be up there. On 6/9/2022, the state confirmed that serology testing on the ceiling section produced several positive samples for human fluids. The state lab attempted DNA analysis on the ceiling section, but it was not successful due to what has been explained to me as the presence of potential inhibitors, which prevent further analysis. 2 samples were cut from the area staining and 1 from the framing, and they were sent to DNA Labs International in Florida, as was Harmony's DNA profile. DNA profile was obtained from the toothbrush in the Sebring. Crystal Sori's DNA profile as obtained via consent, and Adam Montgomery's DNA profile as obtained via a search warrant. When tested, one of the samples from the stain and the sample from the metal framing had an insufficient amount of DNA, and no further analysis was performed. The other sample from the stain indicated a mixture of at least 2 individuals with at least 1 male contributor. Due to the complex nature of the mixed DNA profile, it was inconclusive for comparison purposes. Subsequently, the decision was made to send the entire ceiling section to DNA Labs International with the expectation that seeing the section, analysts there would be able to identify the best areas for testing. Prior to sending the ceiling section, the metal framing was removed. When the metal framing was removed, darker staining was observed under some of the metal framing pieces. This staining appeared to have emanated from the area of staining that was first observed, as if the cause of the first area of staining had also wickened beneath the boarding metal framing. The darker staining was thick in some areas and had a texture, and it was and it had a scent consistent with decomposition. In addition, looking at the bottom of the metal framing that was touching the darker staining, it appeared as if the darker staining had adhered to the metal framing as well. 2 pictures below show the darker staining under the metal framing. The first picture shows a large part of the original ceiling section that was seized. The area of staining that was first observed is circled, and the locations where the original 2 samples were cut can be seen in the circle. The dark staining discovered under the metal framing runs horizontally from the top to the circled area. The second picture shows a closer view of the dark staining. The texture can be observed as can be apparent transfer of the stain into metal framing. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so where are we at here? The ceiling, number 54, the ceiling section was removed. The ceiling section and removed metal framing were submitted to DNA Labs International for testing on 8/4/2022. Forensic DNA analyst Alan Azales of DNA Labs International issued a report of the analysis of the ceiling sheetrock. The report notes that 2 samples were collected from the sheetrock, which were then combined into 1 sample. The DNA profile obtained from the sample indicated at least 1 female contributor and was interpreted as 2 contributors, the report noted. The DNA profile obtained from the sample is approximately 4.1 billion times more probable if the sample originated from Harmony Montgomery and an unknown person than if it originated from 2 unknown persons. This analysis provides very strong support for the proposition that Harmony Montgomery is a contributor to the DNA profile obtained from the sample. The report also notes limited support for the proposition that Crystal Sorey and Adam Montgomery are not contributors to the DNA profile obtained from the sample. Further testing was performed on the ceiling sheetrock. In a report dated 9/14/2022, forensic DNA analyst Aykroyd Aziles noted that another sample was taken from the sheetrock, which indicated a mixture of at least 2 individuals. Harmony Montgomery, Crystal Sorey, and Adam Montgomery could not be ruled out as possible contributors to the mixed DNA profile, the report noted. The DNA profile obtained from the sample is approximately 1.1 trillion times more probable if the sample originated from Harmony Montgomery and 1 unknown person than if it originated from 2 unknown persons. This analysis provides very strong support for the proposition that Harmony Montgomery is a contributor to the DNA profile obtained from the sample. The DNA profile obtained from the sample is approximately 1.5 times more probable if the sample originated from Crystal Sorey and 1 unknown person than if it originated from 2 unknown persons. Therefore, the strength of support for either proposition could not be determined as the likelihood ratio is uninformative. The DNA profile obtained from the sample is approximately 69 times more probable if the sample originated from 2 unknown persons than if it originated from Adam Montgomery and 1 unknown person. This analysis provides limited support to the proposition that Adam Montgomery is not a contributor to the DNA profile obtained from the sample. The testing was also performed on 2 of the metal framing pieces. One of the metal framing pieces had insufficient amount of DNA and no further analysis was performed. A sample from the other metal framing piece provided a DNA profile of at least 1 contributor. Harmony Montgomery could not be ruled out as a possible contributor to the profile. Crystal Sorey and Adam Montgomery were excluded as contributors to the profile. The DNA profile obtained from the sample is approximately 1.4 times more probable if the sample originated from Harmony Montgomery than if it originated from an unknown person. On 6/23/2022, Kayla participated in a second proffer interview. During her 6/23/2022 proffer interview, she described a time when a maintenance worker came to check the vent in their unit at the FIT shelter after a complaint from another resident, who Kayla identified as Paula from apartment number 5. Kayla said that once the people at FIT started saying they could smell something, Adam took the Under Armour bag containing Harmony's body, which was inside of a trash bag, from the ceiling, put it all outside of another. Okay, sorry. Adam took the Under Armour bag containing Harmony's body, which was inside of a trash bag, from the ceiling, put it all inside of another trash bag, and then placed it in the ceiling. Like that was going to do something. Kayla said that once maintenance was called to check the vent, Adam put the trash bag, the Under Armour bag, Harmony's body bag, into the closet. Kayla stated that when maintenance checked the vent, they said it must have been a dead animal or something because they didn't see anything up there. Paula was identified as Paula Maladano Febres. Man, they need to get easier names for me. On 7/28/2022, I spoke with Madaleno Freebies. I know I'm saying that wrong. Via telephone. She said that Adam, Kayla, and their 2 kids moved to the fit shelter about 2 to 3 weeks after she moved in. She recalled Adam one time bringing up his daughter, and when asked where his daughter was, he said she was with her mother. She was with his mother. With his mother, Harmony's grandmother. I asked her about a complaint that the Montgomery's apartment smelled, and that she said it was her friend Mandy who made the complaint. She stated Mandy dropped off some clothes for the newborn and noted the apartment smelled. She stated that Mandy was now deceased. I believe Mandy to be Amanda Crosby, who Kayla identified as being a female who lived at the shelter who is now deceased. On 6/4/2022, I received a copy of maintenance reports from 177 Lake Avenue. One report stated that on 2/5/2022, while the Montgomerys still resided in apartment number 1, the residents of apartment number 2 noted that there was a slight odor when they turned on the heat. In addition, on 2/21/2020, there was a report of a weird smell coming from the vents inside of apartment number 1, which was requested to be looked at. This is the same unit where Adam and Kayla had lived, and it was made just after they moved out. Harmony's body moved to Union Street. I don't even know how many times we've moved this poor child. This is so sad. In Kayla's first proffer interview on 6/3/2022, she had stated that after living at 177 Lake Avenue number 1, they, meaning Adam, Kayla, SM, and DM, moved to an apartment at 644 Union Street in Manchester. Police were previously in possession of a lease agreement that was apparently signed by Adam and Kayla Montgomery on 2/20/2020 for themselves and 2 children to lease 644 Union Street, second floor, apartment number 2. Kayla said that when they moved into the apartment at 644 Union Street, they brought Harmony's body with them. She said that Adam put the Under Armour duffel bag with Harmony's body, which was inside 1 or 2 trash bags, into a plastic bin storage container, which was then pushed on a stroller from 177 Lake Avenue over to 644 Union Street. What the actual... Are you kidding me? Man. This girl traveled too far. Like, what? I mean, I've never seen anybody move a body this much, other than Letitia. This is like, my mind's blown. Kayla said that Adam first placed the plastic bin storage container into a closet in the bedroom of 644 Union Street number 2. Kayla said that Adam then at one point took the Under Armour bag out of the plastic bin storage container and that the Under Armour bag was leaking. Kayla said that Adam put another trash bag around the Under Armour bag and placed it into the refrigerator of 644 Union Street number 2. My Lord. Hey, Melissa. Welcome in, Fred. If I missed you, I'm sorry. It's hard to see the chat and read at the same time. Number D. Harmony's body moved into a CMC maternity bag. I wish I would have started writing down how many times she's been moved. If anybody can count them, oh my Lord, this is insanity. Harmony's body moved to CMC maternity bag. Kayla stated that at some point after Harmony's body was in the refrigerator, Adam transferred Harmony's body from the Under Armour duffel bag into a new bag. Kayla stated that this happened in the bathroom. Kayla stated that on the day in question, Adam spent 4 to 6 hours inside of the bathroom at 644 Union Street number 2 with the shower running. Kayla then described Adam as placing Harmony's dead body inside of what she described as a Catholic Medical Center maternity bag. This bag was much smaller than the Under Armour duffel bag, and it would not likely fit Harmony's body unless it was dismembered or grossly disordered. Kayla described an odor coming from the bathroom and saw steam coming from the bathroom when Adam would open the door. Kayla recalled the scent of cleaning supplies in the bathroom when Adam was finished up. Kayla stated that afterwards, Adam placed the CMC maternity bag inside of the freezer in the apartment. She described the refrigerator/freezer as a standard over/under refrigerator/freezer combo. After Kayla's first proffer interview, investigators obtained a exemplar CMC maternity bag, and they suspected might be the same as the one into which Harmony's body had been placed. During Kayla's second proffer interview on 6/23/2022, she identified the bag shown below as being the same style as the CMC maternity bag into which Harmony's body was placed. You've got to be kidding me. Where the hell was she? Has to be decomp. Even if you, maybe both, but I mean, if you are dismembering somebody, they're not going to fit in that still. This is terrible. In her second proffer interview, Kayla said that Adam actually transferred Harmony's body from the duffel bag to the CMC maternity bag while they were still at the 177 Lake Avenue. She changed her mind. She said that this happened about a day or two after maintenance checked the vent in their unit and that the bags with Harmony's body were in the closet during the 1 to 2 day time frame. Kayla said that Adam made the transfer to the CMC maternity bag in the bathroom of apartment number 1, zipped the CMC maternity bag shut, and then put it in the closet. So here we go. Harmony's body moved to Portland Pie Company freezer on Elm Street. My Lord. Kayla stated that she herself then brought the CMC maternity bag containing Harmony's body to Adam's place of work, Portland Pie Company restaurant on Elm Street in Manchester, while they were living at 177 Lake Avenue. This was done at Adam's request the same day Adam transferred Harmony's body into the CMC maternity bag. Kayla stated that she pushed SM and DM to the Portland Pie Company in a front/back stroller, and the CMC maternity bag with Harmony's body was between the two boys in the stroller. My Lord. It was in between them? How do we know that those little boys didn't go in that bag? Because that's what little kids do. They look. Oh my God. This is sick. Kayla said Adam kept the CMC maternity bag with Harmony's body in the walk-in cooler at the restaurant for a week or so. The bag was then brought back to 177 Lake Avenue before being brought to 644 Union Street when the family moved. In speaking with former Portland Pie Company employee Cameron Gidby, he stated that he had worked at the restaurant as a server and front of the house manager until about a month before the restaurant closed. It should be noted that the Portland Pie Company in Manchester closed on or about 3/1/2020. He recalled seeing the CMC bag in the cooler on a couple occasions on both the floor and a shelf, but never questioned Montgomery about it since he knew he had children. Gidby described the bag as a tote with straps and stated it was possibly white with red or pink. Gidby confirmed that he had seen Adam Montgomery and only him handling the bag and bringing it in. On 8/23/2020, Gidby had shown a photograph of the CMC bag and confirmed that it was the same bag he had seen in the cooler. Former Portland Pie Company employee Emily Thompson, who worked as delivery driver, also vaguely recalled Adam tucking a bag into the cooler but could not remember the details of it. It should be noted that Adam Montgomery worked at the restaurant as a dishwasher and cook between 1/14/2020 and 2/22/2020. These witnesses corroborate what Kayla stated about her bringing Harmony's body in the CMC maternity bag to the Portland Pie Company and Adam keeping the bag in the cooler there. Harmony's body repackaged in the CMC maternity bag. Kayla also advised in the C23 proffer that she was actually in the 644 Union Street apartment number 2, bathroom when Adam took Harmony out of the CMC maternity bag. A photo of the bathroom follows for reference. This was taken recently and is only for size/layout purpose. The personal possessions in the photo belong to a different tenant and not Adam/Kayla. I would be moving out of that apartment. Bye. Nope. Cops knock at your door and they say, "Can we take a picture of your bathroom? We think there was a little girl in there." No. I'm out. Kayla stated that Adam took Harmony out of the CMC maternity bag in the 644 Union Street bathroom so that he could add lime to the CMC maternity bag to help with the decomposition of Harmony's body. Kayla explained that Adam dumped Harmony's body out of the CMC maternity bag into the shower. Kayla said Harmony wasn't bones. She had skin, teeth, and hair, and Kayla could still tell it was her. Kayla said Adam put about half the bag of lime or a little more into the CMC maternity bag, and she shoved with her hands that the bag of lime was consistent with a 40-pound bag. Based on Kayla's description of this process, Adam had a difficult time fitting Harmony's body back into the CMC maternity bag. Harmony's body was frozen. Kayla saw Adam run the hot water in the shower and tried squishing Harmony's flesh to thaw it and make it easier to fit her into the bag. Sorry, guys. This is bad. Kayla helped cut Harmony's clothes off of her body to make her fit into the bag better as well. Kayla described Adam eventually pushing and pushing on Harmony's body, and then she heard a bang. She was not able to elaborate on what this bang was. Adam also banged the CMC maternity bag on the floor while zipping it. Kayla said that she also helped zip close the CMC maternity bag. After the CMC maternity bag finally zipped shut, it went into the apartment freezer. Adam then cleaned up the bathroom with ammonia. On 6/30/2022, Detective Rawhill received maintenance records from Dennis Cloyer, who was a maintenance person back when Adam and Kayla lived on Union Street. He is also the current maintenance worker. It should be noted that the service request was executed on 2/27/2022 at the Union Street apartment where Adam and Kayla lived. The request reads snake tub and fix lever. The service request was 5 days after Adam's employment ended at Portland Pie Company. U-Haul rental to dispose of Harmony's body. Kayla stated that Adam kept the CMC bag with Harmony's body inside of the freezer of the Union Street apartment until sometime during the spring of 2020. She wasn't sure if it was March or May 2020, when Adam rented a U-Haul and during the overnight hours made a trip to an unknown destination to dispose of Harmony's dead body. Kayla stated that she did not know the location or where Adam dumped Harmony's body. Kayla stated that Adam returned in the morning hours, but she could not recall what time. Kayla stated that around the time that Adam disposed of Harmony's body, they stayed in the Econo Lodge or Comfort Inn in Manchester, New Hampshire. She said Adam brought the CMC maternity bag with Harmony's body to the motel and placed it in the mini refrigerator in the room. Kayla said that they were accompanied by Travis Beach and his girlfriend, who Kayla only knew as Brittany. Manchester police know Brittany to be referenced to be a specific person, Brittany Bedard. Kayla recalled that Adam went to the U-Haul with either Travis, Brittany, or both. Kayla saw the U-Haul from a hotel window, and she described it as a van with large 1999 on the back, which is consistent with the lettering number on a U-Haul rental vehicle. Kayla said that after the U-Haul was rented, Adam left in the middle of the night at approximately midnight or 1 a.m. Adam told her he was leaving and he would be back, and he took the CMC maternity bag. She didn't see him have anything else with him. Kayla said Adam didn't want her to know where he was going in case something like this happened, apparently in reference to Kayla Pro offering this information to police. Kayla said Adam then returned at approximately 5 or 6 a.m. the same morning. When he returned, he seemed very tired, and he said words to the effect of, "It's done." Kayla said she didn't see the CMC maternity bag after that, and it should be noted that in Kayla's second proffer on 6/23/2022, her statements were consistent about the U-Haul and did not materially differ from her original proffer. Corroboration of Adam Montgomery using a U-Haul to dispose of Harmony's body. Around that time, the Manchester Police Department began looking into the whereabouts of Harmony. The department established a 24/7 tip line members of the public could call in with any information. On 2/26/2022, police service specialist, which is called PSS Stratton, advised that there was a call that came through the Harmony Montgomery tip line. PSS Stratton noted the tip came from a number 606-205-5255. I called the tipster who wanted to remain anonymous. The tipster stated that a Jenny Paris and her boyfriend Travis Beach had come to the tipster's residence a month ago and disclosed that approximately 2 years ago, Adam Montgomery frantically asked Beach if he could rent Adam a U-Haul truck. The tipster stated that Adam did not disclose what the U-Haul truck was going to be used for, but stated that Adam asked Beach in a frantic manner if he would rent the vehicle. Detective Felicinio located Beach and Paris at their residence in the rear parking, at 1361 Elm Street in the rear parking lot of the apartment building in their vehicle and attempted to interview Beach. Beach was uncooperative and stated he would not answer any questions unless it was with his attorney or probation/parole officer. On 3/9/2022, Deputy U.S. Marshal Tufts and I made contact with Beach at the Hillsborough County Probation and Parole Office. I asked Beach to tell us about Adam asking for a U-Haul. Beach stated he recalled it was around wintertime of 2019, early 2020. Beach stated that he had run into Adam on the street in the area of Union/Bridge at a convenience store. Adam continued to say, "I fucked up, I'm so fucked," Beach stated. Adam wouldn't tell him what he meant when he said, "I fucked up, I'm so fucked." Beach stated he was with Brittany Bernard and Adam was with Kayla and their 2 boys. Beach was asked if he had ever seen Harmony, and he stated he had not. Adam asked them to rent him a U-Haul, and he recalled Brittany renting Adam a box truck from U-Haul on South Willow Street in Manchester. Beach stated they left from there, and the next day Brittany called U-Haul to make sure Adam returned it, and he had. Beach stated that he had never heard or seen Harmony and only knew Adam to have 2 sons. Beach stated he thought Adam and Kayla were living on the second floor of an apartment on Union Street at the time of the U-Haul incident. Beach was never asked if he knew Adam and Kayla to have a car, and he stated he had never seen them with a car. Beach was asked why he hadn't been cooperative initially, and he stated once he saw things in the news, he put 2 and 2 together and thought maybe it was related. As I continued to ask Beach questions, Beach then asked what I was getting at, and he stated he wanted an attorney. On 4/20/2022, Detective Rahel and I interviewed Bobby Johnson, an inmate at the Hillsborough County House of Corrections who wished to speak with us about the Harmony Montgomery investigation, specifically in regards to Travis Beach. Johnson has known Beach for 7 to 8 years. Johnson stated he had a conversation with Beach at a few weeks prior at the end of March or beginning of April 2022. Johnson stated that they were at a drug house getting high and smoking crack. Beach stated that he had something to tell Johnson, and that was eating at him. Beach stated that Adam Montgomery was one of his best friends. Johnson stated also present at the time was Beach's girlfriend, Jenny Paris. Beach's stated Adam called him and came over to his place, and Adam said he fucked up and that he did wrong and needed his help. Johnson stated Beach's girlfriend then stopped him from saying anything further to Johnson about Adam's statement. Johnson stated the tone of the conversation was that Beach was going to say that Adam killed the child and disposed of the body. He stated Beach was saying Adam was asking him for a few days to help him get rid of stuff. Beach stated they drove around the county for the next few days getting rid of stuff. Johnson stated that Beach never mentioned body parts, but that it was stuff wrapped in plastic or plastic bags. Johnson also mentioned Adam asking for tools and supplies and included blankets and tarps from Beach. Jenny told Beach not to talk further about it because it could get him in trouble. Johnson felt that Beach was trying to get it off his chest. Beach also stated to him that the police had been looking for him to ask him information. I asked him who else was there during the conversation, and he stated just Beach, Jenny, and myself. Johnson added that he believed Beach mentioned the west side of Manchester as areas they went and possibly a street starting with the letter C. Johnson also believed Beach was driving when all this happened. On 4/21/2022, Detective Rahel and I interviewed Travis Beach at the New Hampshire State Prison with his probation officer, Officer Wright. I'm not sure I understand. Oh, she scared me. Sorry. Beach stated that Adam Montgomery requested that Beach rent a U-Haul for him. Beach did not have a license, so he used Brittany to rent the U-Haul for him. Beach stated that Adam and Kayla were picked up from the Orange Street/Union Street area. He stated that they had children with them, but only 2 children. Beach believed that the weather was starting to get warm, but there was snow on the ground, and that this was potentially inside a February/March 2020 timeframe. Beach stated that he was staying at the Comfort Inn around this time and that Adam and Kayla were staying at Econo Lodge. He advised that during this time when Adam was requesting a U-Haul, Adam approached Beach stating that he fucked up. He believed this to be after the U-Haul was rented. Adam never told Beach that he needed a U-Haul, what he needed the U-Haul for, and Beach never asked. Beach advised that Adam told him that he was having problems with DCYF during this time, and that was why he was staying at the Econo Lodge. Okay, we're on, let me see. I just want to see how many pages, I forget how many pages this is. Okay. We're on the right page, right? I want to make sure I didn't, like, we're on page 36, so I just want to make sure I go back up. Oh wait, now I'm too far. Oh wait, I'm on page 31. Sorry guys. Sorry about that. I didn't realize I was on the wrong page. I thought I was going the right way, but I wasn't. That's it. Okay. Johnson stated that Beach never mentioned body parts, but that it was the stuff wrapped in plastic or plastic bags. Johnson also mentioned Adam asking for tools and supplies and included blankets and tarps from Beach. Generally told Beach not to talk further about it because it could get him in trouble. Johnson felt that Beach was trying to get it off his chest. I already read this part, didn't I? I don't know where we were at now. Oh, right here. We were right down here. Okay. We were done with the... Okay, we're on page 37. There we go. Well, there's Eddie. Well, hello, Edward. Thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't even know where my mouse is to highlight it. I'm doing 2 screens, so it's hard to see. Actually, where'd my chat go? Oh my gosh. My chat on my iPad. It just like was gone. Okay, we're here now. She must have been in so much pain. And I mean, like, why keep moving her? If you did it, you know. But why keep moving her like that? It probably did, Mandy. I hope not. We're going to continue to read. Maybe we'll get to it. I haven't read this whole thing, so this is really new to me. This is terrible. Okay, let me get my mouse back over where it needs to be. Okay. Prior to the interview concluding, Beach signed a consent to search his Facebook account after stating he and Adam had used the platform to communicate. Beach provided us with his login information and a preservation was completed for his account, which was identified as Facebook account TDBeach618. After the preservation was completed, I attempted to log in the account, but the login information did not work. In her 6/3/2022 proffer, Kayla explained that the reason why she initially said that the last time she saw Harmony was when Adam dropped her off to work at Dunkin' Donuts was because Adam told her to say that time frame and to say that Adam was returning Harmony to her mother. She said in essence that Adam told her she wouldn't get in trouble if she just stuck to this story. On 6/9/2022, Detective Rahil and I conducted a voluntary interview with Nicole Gills, a former tenant of the Lake Avenue in Manchester, New Hampshire. Gills lived at the address during the time period when Adam and Kayla Montgomery were residents there and was an associate of theirs. Gills remembered going into the Econo Lodge to see Kayla and Adam during the time when Kayla and Adam were living at 644 Union Street. She advised that she did not go into the hotel room but believed she was dropping something off to them. She also believed this was odd that they were renting a hotel while they also had an apartment in the city. This will be the interview of Brittany Bedard. On 6/27/2022, Detective Rahul, Deputy Tufts of the U.S. Marshal Service, and I were in Daytona Beach, Florida, to try to locate Brittany Bedard with the assistance of the Daytona Beach Police Department. Bedard was located and she agreed to a voluntary interview. We explained to Bedard why we wanted to speak with her. Bedard remembered going to Adam and Kayla's located at 644 Union Street and playing with one of their children. She was able to pull up a photo she took during that time on her cell phone. This photo was timestamped as 6:02 p.m. on 3/1/2020. Metadata associated with the photo showed a GPS location at 644 Union Street. Bedard has also provided us with her email address at the time. Bedard believed that around the time frame, she had rented a hotel room at the Econo Lodge. She stated that she believed that she tried to rent a room at the Comfort Inn first, but did not end up renting it due to having to put down a large deposit on the room. She believed she was refunded for the room and that she then went to the Econo Lodge to rent a room. Bedard stated that when they were at the Comfort Inn with Adam, Kayla, and their kids, she remembered seeing a CMC bag in between Kayla's two children in a stroller. Bedard remembers staying on the third or fourth floor at the Econo Lodge, facing the front parking lot, in a room with one queen bed. Detective Rahul was able to get the hotel room information for Brittany Bedard from the Econo Lodge, which showed she rented 2 hotel rooms for 2 nights, 3-3 and 3-4, one being room 216 and the other being room 313. Detective Rahul later went to the Econo Lodge and confirmed that 313 was a front parking lot side, south side, and had one queen bed. Room 216 was on the back parking lot side, north side, and had 2 queen beds. Bedard believed that at some point she and Beach went to the U-Haul location on South Willow Street in Manchester to rent the U-Haul. She said that she was in a vehicle, possibly her mother's vehicle, and went into U-Haul to help pay for the transaction. She believed the transaction was around $30. She claimed that she did not rent the U-Haul due to her not having a valid license. She thought that her taller, skinny, white male rented the U-Haul. She was unsure if it was Adam. She stated that she did not remember Adam driving the U-Haul sometime after. She stated she did remember Adam driving the U-Haul sometime after it was rented. She believed Adam dropped her and Beach off at a 7-Eleven convenience store, possibly on Queen City Avenue in Manchester. Bedard thought the rental was a smaller 10-foot box truck due to the fact that she had to sit on the ground between the driver and the front passenger. Bedard claimed that this was the only time she was in the U-Haul. Additionally, Bedard remembered the U-Haul being parked along the backside of the Econo Lodge along the building on the north side. Hello, Mystic. Welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. We are reading through the rest of the PCA for Adam Montgomery, for Harmony Montgomery. If you're just now joining us, if you don't mind hitting the like button, that really helps the channel grow. Hit the subscribe button and come chat with us. Hopefully everybody in the chat's staying hydrated. We're almost through it. So this is the records regarding the U-Haul. On 6/30/2022, Detective Rahul received contract agreements for 2/29/2020 to 3/5/2020 from Dan Gulmet, who is executive assistant at U-Haul. The contracts were specifically for 10-foot box trucks and vans due to the fact that Travis and Brittany believed the U-Haul was rented to have been a box truck, and Kayla believed it to have been a van. Detective Rahul was able to locate a rental that had the name Travis Beach as the additional contact. The rental began on 3/3 at approximately 5:49 p.m. and ended the next day on 3/4 at approximately 1:47 p.m. The rental was from the 515 West Willow Street location in Manchester. It was rented by Brendan Middleton. It should be noted that according to Manchester Police Department in-house information on file, I know that Middleton is reportedly 6 feet tall and approximately 175 pounds, which is consistent with the taller, skinny, white male described by Bernard. The total rental mileage was approximately 133 miles. The rental cost was approximately $32.49 with an additional charge of $104.74, which according to Godet was never paid. Information from U-Haul showed that the $32.49 was paid via a MasterCard having partial card number ending, gives you the card number. A subpoena was sent to PayPal on 7/20/22 for Brittany Bedard's account information. On 7/27/2022, I received information from PayPal confirming the MasterCard used to rent the U-Haul was in fact Brittany Bedard's. Gulmet was able to provide me with the vehicle information for the above referenced U-Haul rented by Middleton. The vehicle was a 2019 GMC Savannah AZ registration. It gives the registration, the VIN number. The GMC Savannah is a cargo van, which is consistent with the vehicle described by Kayla. This vehicle is no longer in the custody of U-Haul and was since sold at auction on or about 5/14/2021. This is an interview with Brendan Middleton. On 7/6/2022, Detective Davenport and I made contact with Brandon Middleton at his address in Manchester, New Hampshire. Prior to the meeting, I spoke with Middleton on the phone and stated that I needed to speak to him about a U-Haul. Middleton stated he rented a U-Haul for a friend a while back. Middleton ultimately stated he had picked up Travis Beach and his girlfriend, who he later confirmed was Brittany Bedard, at the Econo Lodge in Manchester, a couple years back at night when it was dark out. Middleton stated he drove them to the U-Haul on South Willow Street to rent a U-Haul because they said they needed to move furniture or something along those lines. Beach said Bedard did not have IDs or a debit card, so Middleton helped them rent either a U-Haul van or small box truck using his debit card, which he stated would be Bank of America debit card. Middleton stated he drove the U-Haul vehicle to the gas station right next to the U-Haul, and Beach and Bedard drove his car, followed by Middleton stated from the gas station he was unsure of which one of them drove off with the U-Haul, where it was taken or what it was used for. I asked Middleton how he would communicate with Beach, and he stated it was usually through Facebook or text messages. Subsequently, I completed a search warrant for one of Beach's Facebook accounts and discovered communication about the U-Haul rental between Travis Beach and a deleted Facebook account identified as, it's a long number, which is known through the investigation to have been used by Adam Montgomery. Previously, a search warrant was obtained for the 503 account, but according to Facebook, it had been deleted and no relevant content is available. However, multiple other individuals have identified Facebook messages they exchanged with the 5803 account as being messages they exchanged with Adam Montgomery. Travis Beach had a couple conversations about an assistance running U-Haul on 3/3/2020 with Teresa Moorhill on the Facebook account Baxaby Audit at 11:21 Eastern Standard Time. Teresa asked Travis if he was moving after he asked about the U-Haul. Beach stated no, Adam Montgomery is. On 3/20/2022 at 13:36 Eastern Standard Time, Beach stated to the 5803 account, her mom said a big fat no, sorry Bubba. On 3/3/2022, 9/11:58 Eastern Standard Time, Beach messaged the 5803 account and stated, yo, we have her ma's whip, call me ASAP. A short time later, the call that lasted approximately 2 minutes. Travis Beach also had a conversation with a Facebook account, June Person, on 3/3/2020. Beach indicated that he was in room 313 at the Econo Lodge. This information is consistent with the rental and room number we obtained from the Econo Lodge. Below is a conversation from Beach's Facebook accounts between Beach and the 5803 account, here referred to as Adam, on 3/3 and 2/3/4. Adam says, yo. Adam says, if you're awake, call me. Adam says, need to talk. Travis says, hey, can we use the U-Haul for like 10 minutes? Adam, missed call from Travis. Travis, missed call from Adam. Adam says, no, what's up, bro? Hit me up. Travis, missed call from Adam. 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 All of these missed calls, Travis to Adam, from, 3 till 6. And then Travis finally texts, says, yo, please let me know when I can come by and grab my stuff because we only have the car till 1:30. Thank you, Bubba. Adam, missed call from Travis. There are 2 calls and social video chats between Adam and Travis, which are short. They are between 12:22 and 12:57. Travis at 14:47 says, pro, what U-Haul did Y drop it off at? Because he just got a text saying the van was supposed to be back to at please. So please let me know what the F is going on. Wow, they can't type. Sorry about that. It says Travis says ASAP. Adam says I dropped it off on Willow, my word. Adam says, please don't message me stuff like this on Facebook again. Travis says, okay, my bad, won't happen again, Bubba. Travis, missed call from Adam. Adam says, yo, bro, can you call me, please? I need to talk to you. It's important. Very important. Please call me. On 8/9/2022, a profile interview was conducted with Travis Beach with his attorney present. During the interview, he confirmed reconnecting with Adam and Kayla Montgomery at the Mall of New Hampshire in Manchester, New Hampshire. He stated that over approximately 1 week period, he and Brittany went over Adam and Kayla's apartment at 644 Union Street in Manchester to use drugs. Beach stated that this was right before he turned himself into his probation officer on 3/5/2020. Beach stated Adam asked him for help in person renting a U-Haul, and rented a U-Haul, and he and Brittany assisted in doing so. Beach confirmed that the U-Haul was rented on South Willow Street in Manchester for Adam. Once the vehicle was rented, it was brought to the Econo Lodge by Beach and Brittany Bedard, where the keys were turned over to Adam. Beach denied driving the vehicle after the keys were turned over to Adam. Beach confirmed during this interview that he communicated with Adam through Facebook Messenger. And this is it says on 7/20, I received information from the Massachusetts Department of Transportation regarding 3 toll violations involving the reference specific U-Haul van. During the time it had been rented by a Middleton, the 3 violations occurred at the following dates, times, locations, and they're located there. These times on 3/4/2020 are consistent with the time frame described as Kayla as to when Adam was using the U-Haul to dispose of Harmony's body. The information from MassDOT included photographs taken at the times of the violations. The photographs for all 3 violations clearly show a U-Haul van with a Arizona license plate, and it says it there. Some of the photographs also show the windshield of the U-Haul from the front. However, in the photographs, it is not possible to identify any occupant within the U-Haul van or even identifiably tell how many occupants there may have been. Employees from MassDOT have explained to me that the top half of these photos, which include the windshield, is intentionally and automatically distorted for privacy reasons, and the original unblurred versions of the photographs have been deleted. Below are photographs from MassDOT of the front of the U-Haul and front and back of the U-Haul van from the 5:25 a.m. toll violations. It says, as noted previously, the U-Haul van Adam used to dispose of Harmony's body was sold at auction on or about 5/14/2021. The current owners of the U-Haul van were identified as Robert Bob Wood and his son Josh Wood, both at Lancaster, PA. Bob and Josh Wood consented to a search of the van, which had been repurposed for use in their business, Wood's Cleaning Services, on 9/11/2022. Manchester detectives traveled to Lancaster, PA to process the van. The van was processed with Blue Star, which is chemical agent used to detect hemoglobin, a molecule present in blood, on surfaces where it may not be visible to the naked eye. When the van was processed with Blue Star, there appeared to be a reaction on the right side of the interior step of the driver's side, a faint reaction on the passenger side floorboard, and 2 reactions approximately halfway up the back of the passenger seat along the side of the seat closest to the door. Each of these areas were swabbed, and the swabs were pending further forensic testing. On 6/14, they're at the Union Street, Manchester address, was searched pursuant to a search warrant. Multiple items of potential evidentiary value were seized from the apartment. One item was the sole refrigerator in the apartment, which was a standard over/under freezer/refrigerator unit. There are some indications from the owner of the 644 Street that the refrigerator seized from apartment number 2 on 6/14/2022 may not have been the same refrigerator that was there when Adam and Kayla lived in the apartment. However, he was unable to definitively say whether or not it was a different refrigerator. On 9/8/2022, Manchester detectives processed the seized refrigerator with Blue Star. Upon processing, there appeared to be a small reaction to the Blue Star on the bottom right of the interior of the refrigerator, and 3 significant circular reactions together with smaller reactions on the bottom of the interior of the refrigerator. Each of these areas were swabbed, and these swabs are pending further testing. As noted, previously recorded showed that Brittany Bedard rented rooms 216 and 313 at the Econo Lodge for 2 nights. In addition, messaging from Travis Beach's Facebook account shows that he and Bedard were in room 313. This means it is likely that Adam and Kayla Montgomery were in room 216. This room faced the rear north side of the Econo Lodge, which is consistent with information from Kayla about the room she and Adam shared. On 7/11/2022, Manchester detectives went to the Econo Lodge to search room 216 on consent from the hotel owner/general manager. The search focused on the mini fridge in the room based on Kayla's statements that the CMC maternity bag with Harmony's body was placed in the mini fridge of the room where they stayed prior to Adam disposing of the bag. The mini fridge was processed with Blue Star, which showed a small quick reaction underneath the interior freezer space, a small quick reaction of the area of the interior door where it has can holders, and a small quick reaction on the bottom door. Each of these areas was swabbed, and the swabs are pending further forensic testing. To date, Harmony's remains have not been located. Based on the foregoing facts and circumstances, there is probable cause to believe that Adam Montgomery committed the crimes of second-degree murder, tampering with witnesses and informants, falsifying physical evidence, and abuse of a corpse. Therefore, I respectfully request that an arrest warrant be issued against Adam Montgomery for the following charges: 1 count first-degree murder, 1 count tampering with evidence, 1 count falsifying physical evidence, 1 count abuse of a corpse. Signed under penalty and perjury. Right there, it's signed. Is that all of it? Oh, that's all of it. I thought it was 50-some pages. Oh, okay, so that's all of it. Whew. Yeah, so, wow. I know that I have to, like, that was like fast and I'm going to jump off here fast, but my food is here and I don't even know if I can even eat after reading this, but I'm going to try to. This is devastating. This is absolutely devastating. This little girl was taken here, there, and every freaking where with no regard. He killed her because she had an accident in the car. And I can guarantee you guys, she probably had that accident because he wouldn't take her to a damn bathroom. She's 5 years old. I'm sure she was telling him she had to go. Sure, she said, I have to go, Dad. I have to go to the bathroom. But instead, he probably just didn't want to take her because he was busy doing his drugs or passed out from his drugs or high on his drugs. This little girl was really, 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 she was like, I mean, every angle she was just disappointment. But I am going to jump off of here. I'm glad that I was able to, at least read the PCA for you. We'll keep up with what's going on with this case. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Tonight, we will probably do a live. I'm thinking of doing a live tonight because I was going to do the ID, I don't know if it's Amazon or if it's the ID Discovery episode that they came out with over the Idaho 4. I saw it come up the other day and I was like, oh, that would be nice to watch because some people may not have seen that. So I'll either do that tonight or tomorrow night, but we'll figure out a time. But I'm sure that I'll be back on with you guys. But thank you guys again for coming and joining me today. If you guys wouldn't mind liking the video, it'll help send it out to the algorithm. And I will see you guys all very soon. Bye, guys.